Hey guys, and welcome back. I want to start this off by saying sorry. I've recorded like 3 videos, and all 3 of them were like an hour. One of them's like 45 minutes, but they all got corrupted, and I can't post them for some reason. After I tried to edit them, I don't know what I did wrong. One of them I like stopped recording in the middle of an accident, and then I tried to put the two clips together or 2 videos together to make one, and it didn't like that apparently. So I was gonna post a 9 minute video and then post that like a little bit later. It just makes no sense. So that one somehow that one wasn't corrupted, but just didn't use it. But today I wanted to. Oh, first tell you 2 things. I bought 2 games, Ready or Not and Grounded 2. If anyone wants to comment and say which one they'd want to see me play, go for it. I played Grounded with my friends back in high school. Um, I have a friend I can play it with this time, but I'm probably gonna be doing it alone most of the time. Uh he likes to play different games all the time, and his Wi-Fi is not really the best. So he has trouble playing online games and stuff like that. But anyways, that doesn't really matter. I just wanted to let y'all know I'm sorry. I'm back and I'm recording this. I actually found this while recording a different one. I was looking something up and I said, "Wow, we'll check this guy out next video." And this guy, Signal Archives, actually does a bunch of these things. We're gonna be watching Your Pet's Internet Safe, Please Run, but he does a bunch. Like, look at all this, and they're all scary. It's not like him talking about it or anything. This is him making them. I think. I hope so. But let's get into it. This one is going to be 41 minutes, so it's going to be quite a long recording. But see if there's anything. Chilling? Okay. A chilling 4-part analog horror series followed Dr. Marcus Calder as he excuse me as he documents terrifying phenomena spreading throughout the tri-state area. One of that being the beloved pets. The our beloved pets in the end with entire bloodlines disappearing into the wilderness. Ooh, sleeping. Ooh, okay. What you'll get for interconnection, emergency broadcast documenting it, escalating crisis, slow burns, or with no jump scares, dismounting dread. A mysterious 40-year cycle revealing universal conspiracy, authentic emergency broadcast with realistic authority. Pets stop sleeping entirely when consuming massive amount of food. Animals create a perfect regular pattern with mathematical precision. Unnatural smiling and inappropriate laughter during nighttime hours. Oof. Oof, that sounds creepy. Ooh, I don't like that. That's actually creepy. I don't like that at all. Anyways, let's get into it. Hope y'all enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Helps the channel. Of course. My cat's running about right now, causing a wrestle. On the chair. The chair. Yeah. I think I can see you. There she is. Roswell. You like being on the chair? Yeah, I'm on. Aaron. Kitty. Okay. Well, let's get into it.
This is Dr. Marcus Calder, Director of Animal Behavioral Research at the Emergency Coordination Center. Please pay careful attention to what I'm about to share. This is not a drill. We are issuing this advisory regarding unusual animal behavior patterns reported in the tri-state area. What began as a single veterinary case has evolved into something that challenges everything I thought I knew about animal psychology. Typically, when we receive reports of unusual pet behavior, we're dealing with stress responses, dietary issues, or environmental changes.
No, again, I'm just hearing the
Animals are
TV out there.
creatures of
Hearing
habit,
something.
and when their routines are disrupted, They display predictable patterns of anxiety or aggression. What I'm about to describe doesn't fit any known behavioral model. 3 days ago, on October 12th, I received a call from a veterinary clinic in the rural tri-state area. The attending veterinarian, Dr. Sarah Chen, described a case that initially seemed like a metabolic disorder. A 6-year-old tabby cat named Mittens had been brought in by concerned owners who reported their pet had stopped sleeping entirely while consuming triple its normal food and water intake. During my initial consultation with Dr. Chen, she mentioned something that stayed with me. She said the cat's brain activity during the neurological examination was unlike anything she'd seen in 20 years of practice. The readings suggested the animal was using an estimated 100% of its neural capacity. In mammals, this should be physiologically impossible. That evening, I decided to visit the owners personally. The Morrison family lives on a quiet farm road about 40 miles outside the city limits. When I arrived at their property, I immediately noticed something that made my skin crawl. Their backyard was covered in perfect circular patterns scratched into the soil. Not the random digging you'd expect from a bored or anxious cat, but mathematically precise circles, each exactly 18 inches in diameter. Mrs. Morrison led me into their kitchen where Mittens sat motionless on the windowsill. The cat was staring at the far wall with an expression I've never seen on any animal. It looked almost human in its intensity, but worse than that, it looked pleased, content. The corners of its mouth were pulled back in what I can only describe as a smile. She's been like this for hours, Mrs. Morrison told me, her voice shaking slightly. Sometimes she'll turn her head toward us and make this sound, like she's laughing. But it's not a normal cat sound. It's too deliberate. I observed Mittens for nearly 2 hours. During that time, the cat didn't blink once in the normal way. Instead, it performed what I can only call reversed blinking, keeping its eyes closed for extended periods, then opening them wide for just a fraction of a second. Each time the eyes opened, that unsettling smile would broaden. Around 9 o'clock, Mrs. Morrison brought out Mittens' food bowl. What I witnessed next defied every principle of animal nutrition I've studied. The cat consumed an entire can of food in less than 30 seconds, then immediately moved to its water bowl and drank continuously for nearly 10 minutes. Throughout this entire feeding process, it maintained that euphoric expression. Dr. Calder, Mr. Morrison said quietly, "Yesterday we found her in the barn at 3 in the morning. She was standing on her hind legs, scratching those circles into the wooden beam. When we called her name, she turned around and looked at us with that same smile. Then she laughed.
I hope we get to hear the laugh. Russell just went into the bath. Just kind of went, meh, and she said, I can't say her. Oh well. This is in my ear. I completely forgot about that. Let's get back into it.
It sounded almost human. I spent the remainder of the evening documenting Mittens' behavior patterns. Between 10 p.m. and midnight, the cat alternated between periods of intense wall staring and what I can only describe as episodes of extreme euphoria. During these euphoric phases, Mittens would pace in tight circles, occasionally stopping to look directly at the Morrison family with an expression of pure bliss. The most disturbing incident occurred just before I left their property. At approximately 11:45 p.m., I was reviewing my notes in the kitchen when I heard a low humming sound. It seemed to be coming from Mittens, who was once again staring at the wall. I pulled out my recording equipment and detected a subsonic frequency emanating from the cat's throat. The frequency was so low it was barely audible to human ears, but my equipment registered it clearly. Mrs. Morrison noticed my concern and shared something that made my blood run cold. Dr. Calder, we've been hearing that humming sound through the walls at night. It's not just coming from Mittens. It's like there's something humming back to her from outside. This morning, I returned to the Morrison property to conduct follow-up observations. What I found there has prompted this emergency broadcast. The the circular patterns in their backyard had multiplied overnight. There were now dozens of perfect circles scratched into the soil, arranged in a pattern that seemed almost purposeful, mathematical. Mittens was no
Give me
longer
a second. She doesn't like the dark, so I'm just gonna turn on this back. See? Nothing's wrong with it, Rusva. Okay. Sorry about that. We're just gonna have to deal with light. It's not like y'all care. Like if anyone's watching, they'd probably be watching like in the dark or something. No jump scares though, dude.
House.
That kind of sucks.
The Morrisons found her at
what can you do?
dawn, standing in the center of the largest circle, still smiling,
That is so
still
unsettling.
staring toward the tree line. When they approached, she didn't acknowledge their presence. She simply continued her focused observation of something none of us could see. I'm categorizing what I've observed into 3 distinct stages based on my research over the past 3 days. Stage 1 appears to be metabolic acceleration. The affected animal stops sleeping and dramatically increases food and water consumption, while maintaining an unnaturally euphoric state. Stage 2 involves repetitive circular behaviors and directional fixation, usually accompanied by the low-frequency humming I recorded. Stage 3, which I witnessed this morning, involves complete environmental detachment and apparent communication with unknown stimuli. The timeline from initial symptoms to Stage 3 appears to be approximately 72 hours. During this progression, the affected animal maintains that disturbing smile and demonstrates cognitive capabilities that shouldn't be possible for their species. If you notice your pet displaying any of these behaviors, do not attempt to interrupt their activities. Based on my observations, affected animals become extremely protective of their compulsions. Remove other family members from the immediate area and contact our emergency hotline immediately. Do not try to confine or restrain the animal, as this may trigger unpredictable responses. I want to emphasize that Mittens showed no signs of aggression toward the Morrison family. However, there was something in her behavior that suggested she was operating under a compulsion stronger than any domestic animal training or natural instinct. When I attempted to interrupt her wall staring yesterday evening, she turned toward me with an expression of such focused intensity that I instinctively stepped back. What concerns me most is that this appears to be an isolated incident affecting a single animal. In my 30 years of animal behavioral research, I've never encountered a case where an individual animal develops such extreme cognitive enhancement without any identifiable cause. The metabolic demands alone should have killed Mittens within the first 24 hours. Yet here we are, 3 days later, and she's not only surviving, but thriving. The euphoric state she maintains suggests she's experiencing something pleasant, even blissful. But the directional fixation and circular behaviors indicate she's responding to stimuli that don't exist in our shared reality. I've sent tissue samples to our laboratory for analysis, but preliminary results show no evidence of disease, parasites, or toxins. Mittens' blood work indicates optimal health despite her impossible eating patterns and complete lack of sleep. This broadcast will repeat every hour on the hour until we have more information. If you observe similar behavioral changes in your pets, particularly cats, please report them immediately to our Emergency Coordination Center. Document any circular patterns you may find on your property and note the time and duration of any wall-staring episodes. I'll be conducting additional field research throughout the tri-state area over the next 24 hours. While this appears to be an isolated veterinary case, the unprecedented nature of Mittens' condition requires us to monitor for any similar incidents. What I witnessed at the Morrison property challenges everything I understand about animal behavior and cognition. There's something happening here that goes beyond conventional veterinary medicine. Something that's making a domestic cat smile while it stares at empty walls and scratches mathematical patterns into the earth. Until we understand what's causing this phenomenon, I urge all pet owners in the tri-state area to remain vigilant. Pay attention to your animal's behavior, especially during nighttime hours. If your cat begins growling at the wall, don't investigate what it's seeing. Just run. This is Dr. Marcus Calder, and I'll be back tomorrow night with updates on this developing situation. Stay safe and trust your instincts. If something feels wrong with your pet's behavior, it probably is. This is Doc.
Alright, so that was the first one. One, hell no. My cat's smiling at me? No. It's no longer my cat. You are not welcome in my house. Let me fix this. There you go. That's probably better. Uh, Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. I was looking and making sure that um, everything that y'all can actually see me. So one, hell no. Two, one of my worst fears and like genuine nightmares I've had is like dogs, especially. I don't think cats scare me so much just because they're so small. I just punt them, but dogs being bigger, walking on their hind legs and like uh like running at you or just walking through a forest or running. It would be so creepy, dude. Um I've seen a video of a dog doing that. I don't know. Dogs can be really fucking spooky sometimes. There was one time when I was babysitting someone else's dog, and it was middle of the night. I don't exactly know which time, but I was sleeping peacefully, and then she just starts going insane. No other dog barks, just her. When I turn on my lights and I look at her, she's like staring up into like the corner of my roof of my ceiling. Dude, I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. I just stayed awake. I just can't do that kind of stuff. It absolutely terrifies me. Even reacting to like stuff, it could scare me. Like when I'm done watching this, I don't know why I yawn. I'll probably end up watching something on my TV that'll cool me down and eating my dinner. Because I like eating after I record, not before, just because I feel like I'll be get too tired in the middle of it. But this time, I'm gonna actually go do something different. I'm just going to uh do the first two and then post it and do the second two. Also, I don't think I told you the games I got. Um I got Grounded 2. Oh yeah, I told you about that one. But then I also got Ready or Not. I will say Ready or Not, if you choose Ready or Not, it may come a little later since because I spent like an hour today troubleshooting it because it will open for a second and like do its little intro thing and then it will shut off completely. I don't know what's wrong. There's a 19-minute video and I've only gone through like half of it. And then there's another like 5-minute video and I went through all that and it just wasn't working. So I kind of just gave up. But Grounded 2 I checked and it's working if y'all want to see that. And say if you want to see it with my friend, if y'all want to see it with him, it's going to come out less frequently. But if you just want to see it with me or maybe like in between like whenever he can join and stuff like that, it's whatever. I wouldn't mind. So, but one of my genuine fears is like a dog walking, and it's like yeah, it's come from like that Skinwalker thing, where like they're kind of jerky movements. If you ever want to listen to a good one, there's one about like I think it's called "My Dog Went Missing for 3 Days." If you really want to listen to it, it's good. Go to Creepcast and it's there. I love it. It's creepy. The stuff like that would terrify me, bro. Um, I'm a big animal lover, and that's why like if that stuff were to happen, I think I'd just like lay on the floor and cry. Um, but the cat like smiling at me, I don't think I'd notice that very fast. It'd have to be a big smile, with like their actual teeth showing. I think that's the only way. It's just like a grin on their face. Most of my cats have that anyway, so there. Um, you know, I talk to people. Well, but like when I'm playing with my friends, I talk to them. I don't yawn like that. Don't know why I do it here at all. But anyways, let's get back into it. We're gonna actually record these. I'm gonna do the another part, and then I'm gonna end the recording and post that, and then I'm gonna do the next part, and just to kind of split it up. That way, I'm not constantly posting like hour long videos. Some people just don't like that. Some people like those short videos. I've seen people like some YouTubers that do like 10-minute videos, and that's it. Which is insane to me. I couldn't do it. But oh yeah. Also, um, if y'all know any good like recording apps, and also tell me if you want me to stream Grounded, I'll stream it. I still want to stream Peak because I love that one. But anyways, uh, get into it. Let's get back into it.
Marcus Calder, Director of Animal Behavioral Research at the...
Oh yeah. Also, the blood not showing anything means it has to be in the brain, psychological stuff. So it's either the cat, like something's like the humming is a signal going to the cat's brain. That's the only thing I can think of. Because if the cat's humming back, which a cat usually wouldn't hum unless they're purring, I don't think I've ever heard a cat. They're either grumbling or purring when they hum. I don't think I've ever heard a cat hum. So there it is again. Don't know why. I'm sorry.
The Emergency Coordination Center. I'm speaking to you directly tonight because the situation I reported yesterday has expanded beyond anything we initially anticipated. What started as an isolated case with a single domestic cat is now spread across 3 counties within our tri-state area, and I need you to understand the gravity of what we're facing. Yesterday, I told you about Mittens, the 6-year-old tabby who stopped sleeping and began displaying impossible neurological activity. Tonight, I'm reporting that we have confirmed cases involving multiple dogs across different counties, all exhibiting identical symptoms. The pattern suggests we're dealing with something far more serious than a simple veterinary anomaly. The first dog case came to my attention early this morning when a family in Millbrook contacted our emergency line. Their German Shepherd, Duke, had been acting strangely for the past...
I actually have a cat named Duke. He's a gray little outside cat. He's adorable. I love him.
48 hours. The owner, Janet Morrison, called our dispatch center at 3:17 a.m. because her dog was consuming unprecedented amounts of food and water while displaying what she described as constant inappropriate happiness. When my team arrived at the Morrison residence, we found Duke had eaten 6 pounds of dry food in a single day and was drinking water continuously, yet showed no signs of distress or illness. What disturbed me most was Duke's facial expression. Just like Mittens, this dog was smiling. Not the typical canine expression we might interpret as happiness, but an actual human-like smile that seemed fixed on his face. Duke would spend hours staring at the barn wall behind their property, maintaining this unsettling expression while his tail wagged in perfect rhythm.
I think I would just remove him from the area, put him somewhere else. Because they're like it says it's fixating on a certain spot. So what if I just remove them? Would it continue or would it go away? Like that's. I wonder if that's something they test. They may. Let's continue.
The family mentioned hearing him make sounds they'd never heard before during the night hours. Sounds that resembled laughter more than barking. That same afternoon, I received another call
I really hope we get
Clear Creek
to hear a recording of
A
that.
family had found their beagle, Rusty, motionless for 12 straight hours, staring at the side of their house with the same...
It would take 1 hour of continued motionness for me to be concerned. Not 12. Well, how did you get that? Here, bro. She had my earphones. My earphone I just took out. I don't even know how she got that. Yeah. Quit eating this out of my bed. You're just... She's so destructive for no reason. Let's get back into it.
Euphoric expression I'd witnessed with Duke. The dog had been scratching perfect circles in the dirt around their property, just like the patterns we documented at the Blackwood farm. When the owners tried to interrupt Rusty's wall-staring episodes, he would turn toward them with that same fixed smile, his eyes showing an intensity that made them deeply uncomfortable.
No. Yeah.
The third case came from Pine Valley, where a golden retriever named Max had been keeping the entire neighborhood awake with what residents described as reverse barking. Instead of the normal bark patterns we'd expect from a dog, Max was producing sounds that seemed to play backwards, followed by periods of human-like laughter that echoed through the residential area
Arf,
during the
arf,
darkest
arf,
hours of the night.
arf,
The
arf,
owners
arf.
reported that Max had tripled his food intake and was creating the same circular patterns in their backyard that we'd seen at the other locations. By evening, I had personally visited all 3 locations, and what I observed defied every principle of animal behavior I've studied in my 23 years of research. Each dog showed hyperactivity during daylight hours, but their activity was focused entirely on wall fixation and circular pattern creation. The walls they stared at showed no obvious features that would typically attract animal attention, yet each dog seemed to be observing something specific that remained invisible to human perception. The most disturbing discovery came when my team brought recording equipment to document the animal's behavior. During what the families called smiling episodes, our sensitive audio equipment detected low-frequency humming emanating directly from the affected dogs. This humming occurred at frequencies below normal human hearing range, creating a subsonic vibration that our instruments measured but our ears couldn't process. The humming patterns were identical across all 3
I'm right.
cases,
It is like a
suggesting
signal.
these dogs were somehow synchronized despite being separated by dozens of miles. I've identified 4 distinct stages in the progression of this condition. Stage 1 involves the initial sleep disruption and increased appetite that we documented with Mittens. Stage 2 introduces the wall fixation and circular pattern creation that we're now seeing across multiple cases. Stage 3 appears to involve the inappropriate vocalizations and sustained euphoric expressions that are deeply unsettling to witness. I'm concerned about what stage 4 might bring.
Damn, dude,
as
that would be the
cases have
unsettling thing
progressed
for me.
beyond the current
A
symptoms.
smile, and I'd be like, you're
The
no longer
geographic
my dog,
distribution
yeah.
of these cases is particularly troubling. All 3 dog families live within a 50-mile radius of the original Blackwood farm, suggesting a point source origin for whatever is affecting these animals. However, we found no environmental factors that could explain the identical behavioral patterns. Water sources, food supplies, and environmental conditions vary significantly across the affected areas, yet the symptoms remain precisely the same. What makes this situation even more concerning is the animal's reaction to human intervention. When family members attempt to redirect their pet's attention away from wall staring or interrupt the circular pattern creation, the affected dogs become protective of their compulsions. They don't show aggression exactly, but they demonstrate a determination to continue their behaviors that seems to override their normal obedience training and human bonding. Earlier tonight, I was personally present when the Morrison family tried to bring Duke inside during one of his wall-staring episodes. The dog's reaction was unlike anything I've witnessed in my professional experience. Duke maintained his fixed smile while positioning himself between the family and the barn wall, as if protecting something only he could perceive. His body language suggested he was guarding whatever held his attention, and he showed no recognition of his owner's commands or concerns. The families are reporting that their dogs' personalities have fundamentally changed.
Yeah, okay.
These animals, who were previously responsive to human interaction and normal household routines, now seem to exist in a state of constant private focus. They acknowledge their human families, but appear to be primarily engaged with something beyond our perception. The continuous smiling creates an atmosphere of wrongness that the families find increasingly difficult to tolerate. My team has expanded our investigation to include veterinary analysis of the affected animals. Blood work and neurological testing show the same impossible results we documented with Mittens. All 3 dogs are utilizing an estimated 100% of their brain capacity, a biological impossibility that should result in immediate death. Instead, they appear to be experiencing enhanced cognitive function while maintaining their fixed emotional state.
So
The cross-species transmission we're witnessing...
whatever signal they're receiving has to be, like, unlocking sections of their brain. No, we don't know what's sending it yet, but that's going to be my guess. Russell, what are you doing? She's gonna fucking... Sorry, I'll say that. She's gotta do something. I'm watching her. She's climbing on things she's not supposed to. Raspa. There we go. Okay, she got that. Okay.
Suggests that whatever is affecting these animals operates beyond normal biological boundaries. The identical symptoms across different breeds, different environments, and different counties
It'd be hard to
indicate
tell
we're
if a
dealing with
bird's
something
smiling.
that can replicate precise neurological changes regardless of the host animal's individual characteristics. I want to emphasize that while these animals appear calm and even happy, their accelerated metabolic state and neurological changes make their behavior completely unpredictable. We don't understand what they're perceiving during their wall-staring episodes, and we don't know what might trigger a change in their current docile state. The families report feeling increasingly uncomfortable around their pets, despite the animals showing no obvious signs of hostility.
Rosfa.
Do not approach
I turned my
any
head away
animal
and she's
displaying
instantly
these
different.
symptoms.
Really?
While they maintain
Don't
their
give me that
euphoric
look.
expressions and seem content, they're
Really? Hey, you look up here. Why'd you do that? No apology. I think my cat's one of them. Okay, I'm sorry. I love it. It's a little hard to. It's not. I think to have my using it. Wait a little, but as long as I don't slamming my hand against anything, y'all should be fine. Hope y'all heard most of that. She just goes about her day. Okay, let's finish up this part.
altered neurological state means they may respond to stimuli in ways we cannot anticipate. The protective behavior we've observed suggests these animals are committed to continuing their compulsions, and any interference could provoke unpredictable reactions. If you notice your pet has stopped sleeping, is consuming excessive amounts of food and water, or begins staring at walls while displaying inappropriate facial expressions, contact our emergency line immediately. Do not attempt to interrupt these behaviors, and do not leave children alone with affected animals. We are implementing quarantine protocols for all confirmed cases to prevent further spread
the animals
and
from
to
the
protect
zone.
both the animals and their human families. The pattern of identical symptoms across multiple species and locations suggests we're facing something unprecedented in veterinary medicine. I'll be monitoring the situation throughout the night and will provide updates as new information becomes
I don't know why
available.
that's cuter.
Until we understand what we're dealing with, assume that any animal displaying these symptoms represents a potential risk to household safety. This is Dr. Marcus Calder with the Emergency Coordination Center.
Oh, yes, that's
Stay
the
alert,
Google.
trust your instincts, and remember that sometimes the most dangerous situations are the ones that appear completely harmless. This is Doctor.
Okay. That's gonna do it for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all gotta I gotta get like things. I gotta like ask people what they think is scary. Like this is scary, but like I need things like that will get me jumping and stuff. I think that's what I want. Like I like these videos, but those ones that get you to jump, dude, there's something else about them. The euphoric release and all that. Anyways, please like and subscribe to the video, to the channel. It really helps. If y'all want to see more, let me know. Tell me which game y'all want me to see play. Grounded, or if y'all want to see Ready or Not, I'll fix it. There's only so many problems it could be probably. If I don't, then oh well. I'll try to return the game. I think you can do that within like first like day. So I just got it like 2 hours ago. So 22 hours remaining. But anyways, see y'all next time. I hope y'all enjoyed. God bless. Have a good night. And I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.